Hello, class. Welcome to a new week. This week we're going to have our usual discussion board, and we'll also have an exam this week. I want to talk about, like I do most weeks, just some housekeeping issues about both of those subjects. And then I'll put another video out probably today talking about the material. We'll have a little bit of a discussion about this chapter. So first, let me start by saying that everybody has an email account, a Johnston Community College email account. Make sure you're checking those because there are times when I send messages to you directly instead of putting out an announcement to the class. Sometimes I'll ask, in fact, this week, a couple times, I asked students to give me a call, and it looks like maybe you didn't get the email or not, but if I want to discuss something with you personally on a one-on-one basis, I want to have the ability to reach out and be able to get a hold of you and have those conversations. So please check your emails. And if you have an email saying that I'm asking you to give me a call, please give me a call. Secondly, it was brought to my attention earlier in the last week that some students had issues accessing the exam. So if that was you, if you were one of the people who was affected by this, please let me know. Because as it is, if you were unable to access it and unable to take the test, then I gave you a 0 for not taking it, not knowing that you weren't able to access it. But reach out to me so you can take that exam. There'll be no penalty, of course, for taking it late. Or if you have been able to access it now and you weren't in the beginning, reach out to me so I can change that 0 to a proper grade, again, with no penalty. And in the future, if there are any issues with you being able to access any items in the class, exams or discussion boards or Blackboard in general, reach out to me before the week is over so I can look into it and hopefully get those things fixed. I can only fix them if you let me know. Finally, let's talk about citations. The citations were much, much better this week. I thank you. It's obvious that you're putting the work in, that you're taking these talks to heart, you're actually doing the research. Now I just want to kind of fine tune what we're doing when it comes to citations. So they're not just busy work. The reason we do citations and reference other people's material in our writing is to show that we're doing our proper research when we complete our academic assignments. So an example of what not to do would be when I say include a citation or a reference page in your posts, that doesn't mean just write what you were going to write and then write reference and then put the book, because you didn't reference anything. You just literally wrote reference and the book, but there's nothing in the body of your work that's referencing anything. There is no in-text citation, is what those are called. So, for instance, if you're going to write in some sort of academic writing, if you're going to write that there is a sentencing disparity in the criminal justice system because persons of color are sentenced at a higher rate than Caucasian individuals. So if you were going to write that sentence, you need to show the reader where that information came from. It's not just anecdotal. You can't just make it up or I feel like that is what's going on. There must be some sort of research or some sort of author who has declared that to be true. They've also referenced material, and you need to reference that author or where it is that you got that information. Otherwise, it's you just stating facts with no proof. So citations are proof that you've done your research and shown that these facts are at least based in somebody else's work. Sometimes citations can be false. Sometimes people's research are faulty, but at least you showed that you did the research. Conversely, if you say something like, I live on Elm Street, well, there is no citation. You don't need to prove that you live on Elm Street. There is not going to be an academic citation. Or you say, I've used this example in the past, if you say, the sky is blue, everybody knows the sky is blue. So you don't need to cite a reference for that. Anything that's common knowledge, no reference needed. But if you say something that you're purporting to be the truth, you need to show where that information came from. And an in-text citation is how you do that. So in the example I used, there is a sentencing disparity. After you state that, then you would put in parentheses the name of the author and the year and possibly the page or paragraph number of the document where you got that information. There are other ways to cite it. That's the most basic way. There are other ways to do in-text citations, but at the very least, if you put something at the bottom of your paper under the heading references, that reference needs to be someplace in your document. And you'll know that you formatted it correctly because the names have to match. So if you say there's a sentencing disparity, parenthesis, Smith, 1999. Well, Smith needs to be in the reference page, not the name of, you're not going to start off with the name of Smith's book or leave Smith's name off of it. If you put Smith in the heading, or excuse me, you put Smith in the narrative, you need to put Smith in the reference page. Those two names have to match, the names and the year. That's how you know you're actually citing a source, and then you're referencing at the bottom which citations you use in the body. Like I said, overall, much better. I just want to fine tune that, make sure that you're using in-text citations, because those are actually the true citation. Merely listing where you got the information at the bottom and not telling me where it was in your narrative or what you were referencing in your narrative doesn't do the reader any good. All right, I'll wrap this up. Again, I'm looking forward to seeing your exams and your discussion boards. Today we're going to talk about, or excuse me, this week we're going to talk about discretion when it comes to policing. That is a topic that is near and dear to my heart because that is what my dissertation is all about. So I really look forward to seeing your point of view and comparing it to the research that I've done. It's an interesting topic, and I think you guys will have a great time writing about it and responding to each other. Again, I will put another video out shortly when we talk about a little bit more about the meat and potatoes of this week's material. Great job, and I will talk to you guys soon.